Hello, my beautiful, wonderful planty people, and how are you doing today? I hope you're great. I am doing well, and today is round two. My second attempt at recording this video, my Scindapsus collection video, and I've actually decided to kind of combine my Scindapsus collection because there's really not a lot. I think there's 2, 4, 6, there's 8 of them. So I've decided to combine that with kind of like my Scindapsus wish list, just to kind of like, you know, beef up the video a little bit. And I really wanted to show you guys some of the really cool Scindapsus that I found. Some you may have heard of, some you may not have. I don't know, but I hadn't until I went like deep diving, and I found some really, really neat looking Scindapsus that I'm really hoping are going to be like up and coming, and maybe we can find them soon. I don't know. I'm hoping we do. I'm crossing my fingers and toes and eyes. Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, so for those of you who are new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Nikki, and this is my channel, Plants, Pots, and Whatnots. And for my GFPs, my lovely, wonderful gluttons for punishment who keep coming back for more, thank you so much. It is amazing to see you as always, and I love you to bitty bits so much. Today's missing child case is Asia and Milan Johnson. They were allegedly abducted by their mother from their home in the Bahamas and were later confirmed to have traveled to London, Ontario, Canada. Milan and Asia remain missing to this day. They were missing as of July 30th, 2014, and are believed to be in the province of Ontario, possibly somewhere between Toronto and London. The children's father and the police are concerned for their well-being. If you have any information, please reach out to the contacts that I have put in the description. Again, I will be posting this on my community tab. I do encourage you, take a screenshot, that, or you can click on the link in my description and it will take you to their page, which you can share with friends on Facebook or Instagram. These kids have been missing for a while. Their father hasn't seen them. They are very, very worried, and you know, it's been too long. Let's do what we can and do our part to get these girls home. Okay, so as I said, today is all things Scindapsus, some of the old, some new, just Scindapsus. Okay, let's just do it, okay? Okay, so first of all, what are Scindapsus? Scindapsus are a genus of flowering plant, although it's not likely that we're going to see those flower indoors. It's more like when they grow outside in their natural environments and their endemic regions. Scindapsus are native to Southeast Asia, Queensland, and New Guinea, and there are a few in like the Pacific Islands. Anyway, so the ones that we see most often are things like the Scindapsus argyrius, the Scindapsus exotica, and those are the ones that you would normally see in your, you know, your garden centers and your grocery stores and those types of places. But they are very, very quickly gaining massive popularity, and lots of people are starting to find and show these different species, and they have been so popular lately. And you know, I am no exception. I have caught the Scindapsi bug as well. So today I'm going to show you my collection that I have and some that I would definitely like to add to my collection. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to start with the one sitting closest to me right here, and that is my Scindapsus Silvery Ann. Get all the silveries confused. Okay, so this is my Scindapsus Silvery Ann. This one was a little harder to track down, but then they finally got some big baskets into a local garden center here. Not big baskets, they were kind of like 4-inch pots, but I got 2 of them and I put them together. But this one is similar to the Argyrius. Now the difference in this one is that they have these cute little silvery tips to their leaves. Is it focusing on that? Okay. But you can see the silver tips, whereas the Argyrius is more like sparse, like silver spots, where this has the definitive silvery tips, if you can see that there. Now, in my experience with this guy so far, the side that's getting more light is getting more of the silvery tips, whereas this little strand over here, as you can see, doesn't have quite the silver, and that's the side that's on the opposite side of the light. So it's kind of sitting with the light source right here, shining on this side. But anyway, it's a really, really pretty plant. I've had this one for couple months now, and I found it really, really easy. So if you can get your hands on this one, it's a little different and not so basic as the Argyrius, but it is really, really pretty, and it's about the same care requirements. Actually, I might actually say that this one's maybe a little bit easier, but that could be because I killed my Argyrius, which was my fault. So let's just move on, because that's a story for another day. Okay, next let's talk about this one. This one is the Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight. So this one has these big, long, silvery leaves. So this one, battery died. Awesome. Anyway, so you can see this leaf, it's a little bit darker. I'm not sure why, because they're both older leaves. I'm not sure why this one's lighter. Could be due to the lighting when that particular leaf came out. Now recently it's been putting out these smaller leaves. I'm not entirely sure why, but it could be because this top piece isn't secured to this pole. So maybe we just need to, like, you know, stick them. I'll do that later. I'll put a little piece of my Velcro tape on there, because it looks like the last leaf where it had the Velcro was a decent size. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. This plant can definitely be tricky. I found that they don't care for high humidity. They also like nice bright light. So since I put it in those conditions, it's done better. For the longest time, it didn't grow or anything. It was just so incredibly slow. And don't get me wrong, it's still really slow. But it's okay. It's not doing too bad. So I think once we get this guy propped back up here, he'll start to hopefully put out larger leaves, because even this next leaf that's on the way out looks like it's going to be quite small. So I don't know. Anyway, so that is my Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight. Let's move on. Okay, the next one here is one that is fairly new. You guys have seen it before. I hauled this a month or so ago. This one's been a little tricky, and not tricky as in difficult or I'm killing it, but tricky because this. I don't have problems with any of my Scindapsus throwing out runners. But this one, for some reason, and it's getting good light, it should not be running. Stop running away from me. I treat you well, I give you what you want, what you need. Stop running. Anyway, so this is the Scindapsus Silver Lady. Yeah. So this one's a beautiful Scindapsus, which is why it breaks my heart that it's trying to run away from me. It's just such a different green. I love the markings on it. I just think it's so beautiful, and it's nice and soft. That green is just like velvet. But then there's this. Now tell me, do any of you guys have this issue? Because I haven't seen it literally with any of the Scindapsus varieties, even the ones that I've had for a long time, until this one. And I don't understand why that is. So if you know, let me know. Does anybody have problems with this particular one? Maybe it's just this, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, if you know, let me know. Because I would like this, obviously, to be all leaves because they're so beautiful. And I was so excited to get this plant because I love the leaves so much. And then it goes and does this. What is this? I don't know. Okay, let's move on to happier things, shall we? Okay, this baby has got to be one of my favorites. I am in love with this plant. So this is my Scindapsus jade. Is there another word in there? Scindapsus silver jade? Jade Scindapsus? You know what I'm saying. Anyway, beautiful. This is one of those plants that when you see them on like videos or in photos, you're like, meh. And then you see one in person and you're like, what? This is the same plant. They are stunning. So this is, I think there's 3 different cuttings in here, but that's her biggest leaf. Now, look at that. Is that not the most beautiful color? It's gorgeous. And some of them have like a lot of silvery markings on them. Like, check that one out. Isn't that gorgeous? This one's cool. This reminds me of like an apostrophe or something. And then we have the ones on this side. Look at that one. Oh, I can't. It's beautiful. It's so easy. It just keeps growing and growing. They're a little bit slower than say like an Argyrius or an Exotica. But honestly, the wait is definitely worth it. It's such a different contrasting color to, well, a lot of other plants, but also the majority of the Scindapsus varieties. And it's a beautiful, beautiful plant and super, super easy, low maintenance. No problem. This guy rooted for me. I was given, I think, 3 little cuttings, like leaf cuttings, and they rooted really fast and it actually grew rather quickly. I was quite surprised. Anyway, absolutely love this one. If you can get your hands on one of these, you definitely should because like, so pretty. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one I have here is this little guy. So this is Scindapsus lucens, and they have the coolest leaves. Look at those. Don't mind the stuff that's on them. I actually just got an order from Copert Canada, which is, they sell beneficial insects and stuff like that. So I just got a load of like 3 different kinds. And I'm not having like a whole lot of problems. I've seen the occasional spider mite here and there, and then I'll see like A thrips here and there. But I kind of wanted to do it as a preventative. So I bought 3 different kinds and just kind of went like, you know, buck wild on my plants. So that's what that stuff is. It's just the, this particular mite comes in like a container and it's like dust. It's like wood dust or barley. I don't remember what they said they come in anyway. It looks like sawdust is basically what it looks like, and all the mites are in that. So you just kind of like sprinkle with that one in particular, you sprinkle it around the plant, and sometimes with the extra humidity it just kind of gets stuck, so it just brushes off. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't brush off the pests. Those we can brush off. I didn't want to brush off the beneficial mites and such, that, you know what I'm saying. Shut up, Nicki. Okay. Anyway, really, really cute. These guys are gaining some popularity recently. Now they are being confused a little bit with the cordatum. But there is quite a difference. This one is, it's thicker and it's kind of like waxy, where the cordatum is not. It's a little bit more satiny. It's really hard to explain. In one of my, here, I'll put a picture up, comparison. So this is the Scindapsus lucens, and this is the Anodendrum cordatum, and you can kind of see the difference there, just in case you were wondering what you had and you weren't really sure. That is those. Excuse me? keep your paws to yourself. Anyway, very excited. This one's been super easy to grow so far. This is, it had just put out a leaf when it was shipped to me, and then it's got a new one on the way here. If you can see that there he is. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this guy. I can't decide whether I want them to climb or trail for the life of me. And somebody in one of my last videos suggested, oh, it was watered yesterday and just dripped like troop down my sleeve. Somebody suggested having them do both. So like have it in a pot, have like multiple cuttings in there, and have some grow up and then some trail down the front of the pot. That would be really cool. I'm just really not sure where I would put those. So, because they would have to be sitting like on a shelf or something so they could trail, but be up against the wall so they could climb. I don't know. We'll work that out. Anyway, gorgeous little Scindapsus. Love that one to bits. Let's move to the next one. Okay, so this next one. So when I hauled this, I had somebody reach out in my video, and I apologize, I haven't responded to you yet. I'm desperately trying to catch up on my comment section. I am severely slacking, which I don't normally do, so I apologize for that. But anyways, this one I got in a trade, and I got in a trade as a Scindapsus officinalis, but somebody had one of you guys reached out to me and said, maybe just something to look into, Nikki. It might be, I got an itch. It might be a Scindapsus Sumatra, which is like a Trubii Sumatra or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so I started doing some digging and some looking up, and I actually I'm starting to lean towards the fact that it might actually be a Sumatra, simply for the leaf texture, and just kind of like the growth pattern. The growth pattern is very similar to the Trubii that I have, so I'm starting to think that might be it. But I did find a lot of other ones online that I think might be mislabeled. It's one, and this tends to happen when new varieties come out, and there are so many plants that look similar to others. So I have seen a couple out there that may also be mislabeled, but I'm not gonna really know until it starts growing a little bit more. We've got quite a few new leaves, if you can see those on the way in there. But the leaves are really, really pretty anyways. And because this is a newer variety, it's been a little more tricky to find information about it. So I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on it, do some more research, and see if I can figure out exactly what I've got here. But either way, it's beautiful, and I'm very, very happy to have it. And it's a Scindapsus, so, you know, whatever. The more the merrier. Anyway, okay, let's move on to my next one. This video is gonna be long. Sorry in advance. Okay. This cutie, which is going to drip on me, so I'll try to be careful, is the Scindapsus Silver Hero. And I love this one so much. Look at those silvery leaves, that dark, like veining, sort of. That's the older leaf. They're so pretty. And then it's got a new one on the way already right there. So, so pretty. I love the silvery Scindapsuses, Scindapsusi. Anyway, they're really cute, and this guy seems to be a really good grower. So I'm really happy about that. It's not doing the whole silver lady thing, which is nice because forget that. Anyway, cute, gorgeous little guy. It's been really, really easy. I've moved it around multiple times, and he's just happy to be here. So it's a really cute one if you like silvery Scindapsusi. I don't know. Okay, I have two left, and then we will get on to my Scindapsus wish list. Let's move on to the second last one. Okay, this guy is probably one of my favorites. So this is the Scindapsus Silver Splash, I think it's called. There's so many S's and splashes and silvers. Anyway, this is an absolutely beautiful Scindapsus. The leaves are just incredible. They kind of remind me of watercolor, like you just kind of threw some paint down, dropped some water on it, and then just like mushed it around. I don't know, it's beautiful. Ugh, this is probably one of my favorite ones, if not my like 100% favorite one, for a few reasons. Obviously it's really, really pretty, but I think the reason I like this most of all is it's a really fast grower. This thing was grown from cuttings and it has just exploded, and I really haven't had it for that long. Maybe 6 months. And if you're familiar with Scindapsus, most of them tend to grow a little bit more slowly, but this guy seems to be the exception. It has grown exceptionally well. And I love it so much. Anyway, so that is the Scindapsus Silver Splash. Okay, moving on to the next one. So I'm just gonna insert some footage here because I don't want to pull this guy down. So this is my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. Absolutely love this plant. These big, huge, silvery leaves. It looks so nice on this wall with my new little accent wall with the stone. Oh, I just love it. Really, really easy plant. This spot in the kitchen doesn't get like a huge amount of light, and it seems to be doing like really well there. It's probably not growing quite as quickly as it would if it had a little bit more light, but it's still lovely. It doesn't yellow. You know, the leaves start to curl just slightly. I water it. I don't like to leave them too long because it's really not good for the plant to wait until they're showing extreme signs of dehydration. Anyway, love this guy. Love him in that spot. He's just perfect in every way, shape and form, and he's the bestest sis. And I love him. Shut up, Nicki. Okay. Anyway, so that is my entire collection. Now I'm going to run you through some Scindapsus varieties that maybe you don't know of that I have recently put on my Scindapsus wish list. Also, up in the next coming month or two, I will be doing an updated plant wish list, and I have some new ones on my list, but I want to do this Scindapsus one separately because I was finding so many different varieties of Scindapsus that I'm like, my whole list is going to be Scindapsus. So I just thought I would throw a specific Scindapsus wish list together. I've said Scindapsus way too many times in this video. Okay, so let's move on to the Scindapsus wish list portion of the video. Okay, so the first one here that I wanted to talk about is this guy. So let me move here. This is the Scindapsus Tattoo, and it is so cool. Now, this guy I like because instead of having the green with the silver markings on top, this one almost looks like it's silver with green markings on top. And now I know that's not the case. I know that it's green and it just has the silver, because that's just kind of like how the plant works, I think. Am I getting that right? That could be backwards anyways. But anyway, I digress. This is such a cool Scindapsus. I love the way it looks. I love the color of the silver and the green, and I just need to get this one. I haven't seen it available anywhere, so if anybody around Canada knows where I can source this guy, that would be super, because it is beautiful. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, you're gonna drool here. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you can handle this. So I didn't know that the Scindapsus Exotica has a variegated version. What? I know. Look, isn't that incredible? So you get that green and silver, that beautiful Exotica look, but variegated. Now, I'm sure that these are extremely difficult to come by. I know that, and I'm sure I'll probably never track one down, but oh my goodness, I just had to show you guys because it's so pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, and the next one kind of goes along the same lines. So I believe this one is the, so this is another variegated Scindapsus, but I think this is the variegated version of the jade Scindapsus. So check this one out. This is so cool. So this one in particular looks like it might be an, instead of an albo, it might be an alba or a yellow variegated jade Scindapsus, but it's so cool. Like, so cool. I've never seen anyone who has one of these. I've run across a couple on Instagram, this photo being one of them, and I just think it's stunning. It kind of reminds me of like a juvenile Monstera aurea. And y'all know how I feel about that plant. So this is so beautiful. I'm just sitting here staring at the photo like, napkin please. Anyway, okay. This next one, I saw in passing, and this is actually the reason why I decided to make this wish list, because I ran across this one by accident one day and freaked out. This is the Scindapsus argyrius Black Mamba. Check it out. It is the coolest looking. It looks like it has some sort of weird disease. It is black, it is bumpy, and it's really, really cool. This one is one that I definitely want to get my hands on. I love having different colors and textures in my collection, as if you've been around a while, you know that. And this one would just be like so amazing to get my hands on. It's really cool. Now, along the same lines as that one, I also found this one. So this one's a Scindapsus argyrius Silver Snake Platinum. And this one is beautiful as well. So you've got those argyrius type leaves, similar in shape, maybe a little bit fatter and more heart shaped, but the dark green underneath, and then that really like sagey silver on top. And it's just stunning. And I love all of these pictures because they're having them shingle, which I think is beautiful. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now, there has, I think, been some confusion, and I am confused, whether this is the same plant as the hero, but I don't think it is. This is a Scindapsus Platinum, and you can see that it's all silver. Like, you can't really see any silver showing through like you do with this guy, or green. Did I say silver? I meant green. So this is the silver hero. And then obviously the platinum, and it's basically all that beautiful silvery blue color, and it's absolutely beautiful. The leaves look like they might be a little bit differently shaped as well. Or maybe this one in this picture is just a little bit more mature. I'm not sure. Either way, I want one. Okay, now check this one out. This is so cool. This is the Scindapsus argyrius green leaf snake, and I've seen this named a couple different things. Thank you, Garage Sale, for interrupting me. But this is the first one I've found, so we're just gonna go with that. I think there's a photo coming up that I'll show you that might have it labeled as something different, or they could be two different varieties. I don't know. But this one is the argyrius greenleaf snake, and it is really, really cool. I think this would just look so cool if I could find like the Black Mamba and then have this one, and then I think there's two others that I want to show you coming up, and just have them all growing up the wall. And I just have this visual in my head that needs to come to fruition. But anyway, this is so beautiful. So it's got that dark green background with that bright green, like that, it's like almost a chartreuse green on top. And I think it just like smacks you in the face, like it catches attention. It's so beautiful. So there's that one. So this next one is kind of cool too. This one is called the Scindapsus Silver Princess. So this one kind of looks like a cross between like an Exotica and a Officinalis. It's got longer, more lancy leaves, and it looks like it's not soft or velvety. It looks like it's probably, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But it looks like it might be a little bit more waxy, kind of like Volutions is. but it's really pretty, and I love the contrast of the dark green, like the jade Scindapsus, with the silver on top. It looks so pretty. Okay, moving along. This one's cool. This one is the Scindapsus trubii black variegata. So this one's really neat. It has some really cool pattern, almost like watercolory looking. And I didn't find very many of these, so I don't know if this is like a sport that somebody found that's been, you know, propagated and sent around, but I need to get my hands on this guy. This is so cool. I don't even have the actual, like, the dark trubii moonlight yet, but I'd totally pass that one up for this one because it's way cooler. Okay, next. This is taking so long and I'm sorry, but I had to show you guys. Okay, so this photo, as you can see, there are 3 different varieties here. So they're saying that the first photo is the Scindapsus argyrius black snake. The one in the middle is the Scindapsus argyrius snake scales, which looks, and I believe is the same one as the green snake that we looked at earlier. And then the argyrius white snake, which I think is also similar to the one we looked at before that was like platinum or something. Anyway, these are really pretty, all 3 of them. I love that they've got them climbing on these planks of wood. So that gives me that visual of me getting all of them and having them all grow up with that black one as well. It's just, anyway, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I think there's only one more. Let me just... Oh, this one's really cool. So there's 2 more. So this is really interesting because I found this one, and it's not one, I mean, I think it would be cool to get and actually have climb and then kind of like my Debaya. But this one is the Scindapsus altissimus. And looking at this one, you wouldn't immediately think Scindapsus, but it's really cool. So it looks like it's a climber, like most, or like all Scindapsus obviously are anyways, but it has these leaves that would lead you to believe that it's like maybe an anthurium or a philodendron of some kind, but this is actually a Scindapsus, and it's really cool. It looks like that green one is probably a new leaf, but the older ones have that silveriness of like the Scindapsus that we see, and I think it's just so cool. Again, never seen one in person, but I think that would be a really cool one to get my hands on. Okay, the last one that I want to show you, again, is a variegated one because you guys know me and my variegation. This one is a Scindapsus trubii moonlight variegated. So it's got more of like a marbly look to them. They almost kind of look like a golden pothos. But I like anything that's variegated, so I had to include this one as well because I thought it was really pretty. But yeah, so that is my collection and my hopefully soon to be collection. I hope some of these other varieties become more available soon, especially those shingling, the ones that we saw shingling, because I think those would be a really good time. Yeah, so cross your fingers and toes for me. I think that black one and then that bright green one would probably be the 2 that are main on my wish list. If I can happen to find those, that would be so amazing. Okay, I'm starting to lose my voice all over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today, seeing my collection and seeing some new varieties that maybe you've never heard of before. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me over there. It's a fun time. I post new photos of plants and stuff almost every single day. I also post, you know, random thoughts that pop into my head and just, you know, what I'm doing that day or what new projects I've got going on. So anyway, if you want to keep tabs on me, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, and that's all. So thank you guys so much for liking and watching and commenting and subscribing. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is a huge help for my channel and I personally really do appreciate it. Here we come, 10K. Woohoo! Okay, sorry about that. All right, I would like you all to have an amazing and wonderful and lovely and fabulous day, night, week, month, and year. I love y'all to bitty bits, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! I would probably lean to, thanks, train. We got it. Thanks.